What is Voyager Token, and why do I think, even with this huge price pump recently, it still has potential for a 10x from here? Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I like to talk about making money on your phone, creating passive income sources, making good sound investments, and some helpful tips here and there. And I do have to let you know, I am not a financial advisor or a professional on this topic. This is for entertainment and education purposes only. So do your own research before buying Voyager Token or anything else I talk about on my videos. And also, I do own Voyager Token, as well as many other cryptocurrencies. And as this is going to be a pretty long video explaining a lot about Voyager Token and other tokens and coins similar to them, I have added timestamps to this video so that you can skip to certain sections that you find most interesting. So let's get started by explaining what Voyager Token is. Voyager Token, or ticker VGX, is Voyager Brokerage's utility token. Many cryptocurrency projects, exchanges, and brokerages have utility tokens, which do different things, from staking coins to earn interest, holding coins on their platform to earn interest, to multiple other benefits that users not holding the token don't receive. So holding utility tokens with good tokenomics and driving fundamentals will let you take advantage of many different things. Quite simply, for a utility token to hold value, it needs to have a utility. So let's go over 3 key principles every utility token should have. A finite supply, having a definite or definable limit, a clear and specific function, use case. The function needs to drive real value to the holders and continue to drive that value. So what is driving the price of Voyager now, and what is going to continue to drive this moving forward? Why I think at this price of $2.69 today is nowhere near what we will see at the top of this bull market. So let's start by going over Voyager Brokerage and some of the things that are bringing people to this platform. You can earn up to 9.5% interest APR on some digital assets, all the way down to 1%. Voyager has 50 plus digital assets, commission free, to choose from. Voyager Brokerage is one of the easiest and simple onboarding processes for new users to cryptocurrency. So with a high selection of cryptocurrencies to choose from, and the ability to earn interest on 20 plus cryptocurrencies, are just some of the reasons for huge user growth coming to Voyager. For example, recently, Voyager has had some issues. They were down intermittently for about 2 days. So during the time of this whole Wall Street's bets fiasco we've been going through, and DOGE COIN pumping to the moon out of nowhere, Voyager was one of the few places you could buy DOGE COIN. Among the fact of Elon Musk putting Bitcoin and Bitcoin only in his Twitter bio, with the price of Bitcoin soaring 20% in one day and Dogecoin going up 800%, Voyager being one of the few places in the United States you could buy Doge, they were seeing over 100 new users per minute, and over a 3-day stretch, 250,000 new account applications. They were not ready for this, as many newer exchanges and brokerages cannot support this type of volume that fast. This was the reason for their recent problems. Hopefully they got all that straightened away as more users are coming in the future, as Voyager Brokerage has been a very popular topic recently. More and more people are seeing the value that Voyager brings to the community. So if you want to hear where I think Voyager is going, and the price I see it getting to in this bull run, stay tuned till the end of the video. Yes, I'm going to make you sit through the whole thing so that you understand why this token has value. So what are some of the things that Voyager does different that some other easy-to-use exchanges? Voyager also allows you to set limit orders, which most easy-to-use exchanges don't. As most of their cryptocurrencies, you can transfer crypto to and take cryptocurrency off of Voyager. If you bought cryptocurrency on Robinhood or Webull, some of these stock brokerage apps that only allow you to buy a few cryptocurrencies, you cannot take your crypto off of those platforms, kind of defeating the purpose of what cryptocurrency is really meant to be. Alright, I digress. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So Voyager Token, formerly known as Ethos, was rebranded when Voyager Brokerage bought them to VGX. Now Voyager Brokerage is also a publicly traded company under the ticker symbol VYGVF on the Canadian Stock Exchange. This is completely separate to the token itself. So as we went over in the beginning, a driving factor of utility token is your users. As of now, Voyager has 75 to 80,000 funded accounts, but a lot of people open accounts and are a little bit scared to actually buy anything in them. So 75 to 80,000 funded accounts is a pretty decent amount. They do have a goal of 1 million funded accounts by 2025. Honestly, if this bull run does anything like I think it's going to do, I think they might hit that this year, which will cause the Voyager token to rise in price, as it is very easy to buy on Voyager. So for example, Coinbase has 43 million users, which goes down every time the price of Bitcoin goes up. It has extremely high fees, and there are very few coins you can earn any type of interest on, and that interest is very low compared to what you can earn on Voyager. So Voyager has more tradable assets with no fees, good interest, and a super easy onboarding process to the platform. There is no doubt in my mind that Voyager brokerage is going to take off when more and more people realize its potential. And shameless link, but it also has a great refer a friend program. If you use my referral link and deposit and trade $100 or more of any cryptocurrency, you will get $25 in free Bitcoin. Not a bad deal. And I get $25 too. It's a win-win for both of us. My link to Voyager will be in the description below. And as I keep saying, Voyager is a brokerage, not an exchange. They will go through 12 plus different cryptocurrency exchanges and find you the best price on whatever cryptocurrency you are buying at that time. So when Coinbase goes down, they still have multiple other exchanges to find you your crypto to buy. This is a huge driving factor that Voyager has over other exchanges. So let's go and look over the chart. And not that this means everything, but let's go to the max, and you will see in 2017, when it was Ethos, the all-time high is $2.47 in January. In January of 2018, it was $12.47. Now, every token or coin is not going to make it back to that all-time high, but coins and tokens with real potential and a use case are going to get back there and much higher. Look at where we are today, $2.74. Now, when they hit this all-time high, this token really didn't have much of utility. It was more on hopes and dreams and white papers at that time and promises. Now, there's a real use case and more use cases coming, which I'm about to talk about. But first, let's go over some numbers. First of all, the market cap is almost 600 million, and it is ranked number 65, meaning the 65 highest market cap ranking out of all cryptocurrencies. This was in the 400s just about a month ago. And we have a total circulating supply of 222 million. As I said, you need to look at the bigger picture of things. If you just look at a 7-day chart or a 14-day chart or even the 30-day chart, this will look like a parabolic move, which it was. But as you will see, after I talk about what is coming, this is nowhere near all we will see. So the value proposition and driving factors for Voyager. This is what you want to know and what you need to think about when making good informed decisions. I want you to see two charts. Here's the Voyager token chart on the 30-day. Yes, a pretty big increase in price. Here is the DOGE COIN chart in 90 days. Looks a lot different, right? Everybody was pumping into Dogecoin. As I saw on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, many people call this right here a consolidation period. People, this is a pump and dump. A couple hours, not even a day, is not a consolidation period. Yes, it did have this little rebound, and it came back down. Who knows, it might pump again. Dogecoin, all-time high in 2018, right at the beginning when I showed you Voyager token's all-time high, 0.017 cents. What did it just do? It went all the way up to its peak at a little over 8 cents, almost 8 cents. Some exchanges hitting over 8 cents. This is not healthy and does not stay. On top of the fact that what is Dogecoin? People know what you are investing in before you invest. I was seeing people saying, oh, I bought 600 shares of Dogecoin on Robinhood. You didn't buy shares. It's a coin. Not anything to do with the stock market at all. People are just buying this because somebody told them to. And somebody said it's going to go to $1. I'll tell you something. For Dogecoin to go to $1, look at the market cap. It already has a $4 billion market cap and is ranked 15th overall. This coin does nothing, people. It is a meme coin. The people that invented it even said it was a joke. They have not done anything to the code. It does nothing at all and still has a $4 billion market cap. So from 3 cents for it to go to $1, you're going to be looking at about a $125 billion market cap. Let's go to the coins list and see where that ranks us. So in the current market conditions, without having a parabolic move in the entire market, which is still a long shot for it to get there, it's going to be right behind Ethereum, which has a $175 billion market cap. Next is Tether at a $27 billion market cap. People, Ethereum, real use case. Almost all the projects that are working in the space today are built on the Ethereum network. Stablecoins, the Ethereum network. Think about this realistically. Know what you are investing in before you invest. Because when you buy Dogecoin at 6 cents and it drops to 3 and probably later back down to 1 or 1.5, you're going to be in a world of hurt, especially if you put in more than you could lose. This chart, not healthy. Okay, rant over. Back to Voyager and why this chart, even though it looks pretty parabolic, is not even close to where it's going to be. So we talked about users. So it's not just the users coming to the platform. Also look at what does this token do. Well, right now, the token itself does very little. Holding a 5,000 token monthly balance would get you a 3% interest. And 10,000 or more tokens, you would not only earn that 3% interest, but get an interest booster on your USDC, which is already paying you 8.5%, bumping it up to 9.5%, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So on those 3 assets, you get a 1% boost. So for people with quite a bit of funds in Voyager, this isn't a bad deal. Still not a driving factor to really push this token higher. So at its current time, I do think it's a little bit high for the tokenomics in place itself. But as I said, they are going through a restructuring of the tokenomics currently. And within the next few weeks, we are supposed to see what they're coming up with. So I'm going to go through some of the things that we're hearing in the pipeline and maybe have been hinted to about what's going on with the new tokenomics of this Voyager token and what's really going to drive this price up. So if you're getting anything out of this video so far, and it's helping you in any way, help me out. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get videos when I make them in the future. Also, if you like this type of content compared to the normal videos I put out, maybe I'll mix in more cryptocurrency, token, and coin videos and kind of break down where I see things are going. If not, let me know in the comments as well. I want to make videos that you want to see. So with all of this energy and focus and drive towards the Voyager token right now, this is where we are seeing this big pump. We are waiting to see if the new tokenomics are really going to help us. And that's where we're either going to see a drop in the price or possibly a continued price higher depending on what the tokenomics state. Things like mandatory holds, like a 5-tier system, meaning if you hold this many tokens, these are the benefits you get, all the way up to this many tokens, which is your premium benefits. Now, Voyager have already alluded in multiple interviews that I've watched that it will not be a fee-free platform forever. Realistically, I do see fees being charged on Voyager and getting discounted to 0 fees depending on how many Voyager tokens you have. This will be a huge driver of the Voyager token price. With having to hold a mandatory amount of Voyager tokens to get discounted or 0 fees will be huge, especially for people that trade quite often. And Voyager also has a plan to not only have cryptocurrency, but stocks on their platform. This is way down the road, and I'm sure more regulation needs to be in place, but just think, if you could swap a cryptocurrency for a stock, if you wanted, without having to sell it into cash, wait for that cash to settle, and then buy a stock on a different platform. This would just make things so much faster if you could sell Voyager and buy AG. And as Voyager does not plan to stop here, they are really trying to build an entire ecosystem inside of Voyager. So whatever tokenomics we see come out here may not be all, and they could add more in the future to benefit token holders even more. Things like margin trading and lower fees for margin traders holding the Voyager token. A debit and credit card, really adding to the ecosystem, and higher rewards for token holders. This is more speculation as well, but maybe even adding that IRA program so you can hold cryptocurrency inside your retirement accounts. And of course, Voyager token holders will likely have lower to no monthly fees, as if you look at all the IRAs for cryptocurrency currently, all the fees come out to $30 plus a month just to keep that IRA running. Voyager does have a very strong team. that came with a background in the traditional finance space. Mixed with the cryptocurrency background, I'm sure they know what they're doing as far as regulation goes, and will be able to offer anything they can in the future, and can bring some of these additions in when the regulatory landscape kind of clears up, as well as when they build a bigger team. One of the biggest things I want to see Voyager do is not get ahead of themselves. You know, like when you're running and sometimes you go too fast and your body gets ahead of you and you fall on your face. I don't want to see that happen with Voyager. They are doing great right now, but if they try to do too much too fast, that could be a huge problem and stunt their short-term growth. What Voyager has done very well is they listen to the customers, as the customers are what makes you successful. Their first tokenomics model was absolute crap, and that's why the token was at 6 cents to 10 cents for so long, because nobody cared to hold it. It had no real value. Then when they changed it around closer to the end of the year, people started getting a little bit more excited. It still wasn't the greatest model, the model we are in currently, but this price is driven by what we hope is coming in the next couple weeks. This isn't all speculation. Much of this have been alluded to between interviews that we've watched on YouTube. So another big thing that I hope to see that will really drive the price of the Voyager token, when I was talking about this tier system, depending on how many tokens you hold, is the benefits that you receive. Think of their interest that you earn on your assets being tiered. So the more Voyager tokens you do hold, the higher interest you get on your cryptocurrency holdings. That can really drive the price higher as more people are incentivized to hold their token instead of sell it in order to gain that higher interest. Personally, outside of user growth, one of the biggest drivers for the token. And with Voyager being a publicly traded company, they are very transparent. They have to put out their quarterly numbers. So you can actually research this and see how the business itself is doing. Even though it is separate from the Voyager token, they do go hand in hand with success. I will say I see more upside for the token price in the near future. Also, follow them on Twitter and Instagram. They are very active on there, as well as having a very strong community. They have multiple updates every day. You want to see them pushing their products. This will just help more and more users be onboarded faster. So at this point, you're probably thinking, well, this all sounds great, but why is it going to go up so much from here, as the market cap is already pretty high? Let's go look at some similar projects and the success that they've had. We're going to jump over to Celsius Network, which is probably the closest comparison to what Voyager is doing. Now, the Celsius token does work a little bit differently, and Celsius is a lending platform rather than a brokerage offering cryptocurrencies to trade, but their tokenomics are pretty similar. And Celsius Network is also very transparent and in the spotlight, which Voyager is starting to do, which does help parabolic growth. So here we are on Celsius website, and you can see interest rates are higher on Celsius. Now what I'm really looking at is down at the bottom, and this is what I'm talking about transparency. This is regularly updated. They have 8,200,000,000 in loans processed. Celsius is a lending service, and you earn interest on the assets that they can earn interest on. So if they can lend these cryptocurrencies out, they will pay you interest on them. What Celsius does better than any other lending platform, they pay out 80% of the profits back to the users. Unbank yourself. The banks could do this for you, but they like to give this back to the shareholders and pad their own pockets. Don't think that banks don't make over 8% on your money. They're making well over that. Celsius is just giving it back to the users. So with this much in loans processed, with over 373,000 users, total community assets of over 6 billion, they are the biggest lending platform in this space. CEL Token, which is their token. It is a utility token, also a security token, which one thing that makes Celsius token more valuable, and the reason it pumped when a lot of other coins were going down, is the fact that they are regulatory compliant with the SEC. The ability to do this in the United States is pretty tough, and they follow all the regulations first and have a more worldwide reach. Voyager really started in the United States, and soon to add Europe and Canada, and more countries as they can. But we are only US in Voyager right now. Just think when more countries start getting involved, the millions of more users that can be acquired. And what can the CEL token do? You can get even higher earned rewards if you choose to earn in CEL. So if you lend Bitcoin and choose to get paid out in CEL, you will receive 30% more rewards. But unfortunately, in the United States, because of regulatory reasons, you can't earn in CEL. So you can only earn in Litecoin. Meaning, if you deposit Bitcoin, you get Bitcoin in interest. If you deposit Ethereum interest. So the only way for US residents to get CEL Token is something like Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange, and transfer over to CEL, and then you can earn like kind in CEL. So on top of that, they still have the top interest rates on most coins of any lending platform, and their loans are the lowest interest rate on the loans. Outside of big institutions, the little guy like us that can take loans does have to over collateralize their loans. So if you lend Bitcoin and you want to take out currency and transfer that into USD, you need to over collateralize that. And the more you over collateralize that, the cheaper interest rate you get. And holding CEL does lower your interest rate as well. Now let's go over to the charts and show you what Celsius Network has done and how Voyager is coming up right behind them and doing pretty much the same thing. A couple things different. Voyager doesn't lend. The platforms themselves are different, but the tokenomics are pretty similar, the closest that I could find. Now personally, I think we are right here where this $5 mark is on Celsius. That's where I think we are in Voyager right now. I still think we have this to go short term when this news comes out on the new tokenomics. Now be ready. Usually with anything, it's sell the news. Even if it's good news, there will probably be a pullback after the news. But just look at this. Just 90 days ago, we were a little under $2, and I've been in the market a lot longer than most people. I was back here looking at this and thinking, wow, the tokenomics are pretty good. I probably should get some Celsius. And I never did it. And then I watched it go up to around $1, $1.30, and I'm thinking, oh, it's out of my price range now. And here we are still sitting at almost $5. Now, Celsius is the number 27 ranked coin, so it's pretty high in market cap, over $1 billion, coming up on $2 billion in market cap, with a circulating supply of over 383 million. Another thing Celsius does is they do give tokens out to their team every time price targets are hit. There was one at $3 and one at $5 recently. But their team is on a 3-year lockup period from when they get the tokens. So they cannot dump those on the market. Another thing stating strong tokenomics. And also with Celsius, when they have to pay out that CEL in like kind or Celsius token to the people outside of the United States that want to earn in CEL, they have to buy that back from the open market. So that drives the demand up as they have to go in every single week and purchase more CEL to pay back their depositors on the platform. Now, I still do believe that Celsius will climb and it will be a top 20 coin. I also think that Voyager has potential to get close to the top 20, if not in the top 20 as well, depending on the tokenomic structure that comes out. Now, Alex Mashinsky, who is the CEO and founder of Celsius Network, does one thing very well. He promotes the heck out of Celsius. He has a weekly AMA every Friday, as well as multiple YouTube videos throughout the week, and is a guest on many different channels. Voyager is coming up behind them, doing the same thing, and they saw the Celsius model and realized it worked, and they want to do it as well. And another shameless plug. With Celsius, if you use my referral link, or anyone else's for that matter, and you deposit $200 of any cryptocurrency they support, you will get $20 in free Bitcoin. Still not too bad of a bonus. And Celsius does do multiple current user promo codes throughout the time too. If you watch their weekly AMAs, sometimes a new promo code will come when they need more deposited in a certain asset. All things driving the price. And like I've said, the regulatory clarity behind Celsius keeps their price pretty stable and mostly on an upswing rather than going down. So as you might think, Voyager price isn't too far behind Celsius, with a lot less users. But with as many users as you can see coming, especially going into Europe and Canada in the near future, and many ways to build an entire ecosystem on Voyager, I think it could have more potential than Celsius. But nobody can read the future. We don't have crystal balls. I'm just going by the information that's put in front of me. So I want to go over one more token that's somewhat similar. I am not going to go into this token in depth. I'm mostly looking at the price action and showing you. This is Binance Coin. It is another utility coin. It does a lot of different things than Voyager and Celsius. That probably has the best model and tokenomics, as it is very different from Celsius and Voyager. But things like discounts on trading fees, swaps between cryptocurrencies, meaning from asset to asset, and they do have a tier program depending on how much you hold. So depending on how much Binance Coin you have, depends on the rewards that you unlock. So holding Binance Coin to get to certain tier levels in order to unlock certain rewards has proven to be a very successful model in driving the price as more people are holding it and not selling it. So let's look into the chart. Let's go back and shoot out 1 year. And so we had a low point at $9.47, all the way up to $50 right now. But I really want to show you the max. This coin launched at just under 4 cents, and an all-time high of $52.77, which we're pretty darn close to right now. But it just shows you, like times like this is June of 2019. We were in a bear market. Nothing was going on, but this coin was pumping. Good tokenomics lets good projects run even in bear markets. And then dumping down when we had a big crash in March of 2020, and that's when we kind of see the bull market really started. Didn't know it right here yet. Kinda had a good idea when altcoins started pumping here, and really new here. But Binance Coin is the number 11th ranked coin, almost in the top 10, with a market cap at about $7.5 billion and a max supply at 179 million, and the current circulating supply 147 million, almost 148 million. Binance Coin also buys back the coins and burns them quarterly, making it even more scarce and driving the demand higher. So we really see what a good utility token can do. I'll attach a video that Guy made, which is probably the best person to watch on YouTube to get solid, in-depth reviews on top projects. So I threw out a lot of information at you. And if you've made it this far, you deserve to hear where I think Voyager Token can really be. I truly see this being a $25 to $30 token in the blow off top of this bull market. I don't believe it will stay there, but I do see strong sentiment, a real utility, and if the tokenomics continue to show people they need to hold the token in order to gain benefits in a tier system and continue to build this ecosystem as a one-stop shop, Voyager has the potential to really push this high. Parabolic moves are hard to see and really comprehend. But just look at history. It's going to do it again. History doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. So watch out for some big movements coming out of Voyager Token in the near future. And if you like what you got out of this channel today, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get videos when I make them in the future. And as always, give yourself a raise. I'll see you next time. A few videos popped up to my left and right. If one of those perked your interest, give it a click.